Hello, Vermonters. I'm here to stand with the girls and the girls volleyball team and the parents at Randolph Union High School. These parents have been dealing with this kind of abuse for a long time. This is not the first time this actual incident has happened, and it's only part of a larger pattern of Layne Millington, the superintendent, and school officials there violating children's and parents' free speech rights. This school has very poor proficiency test scores. It has huge disciplinary problems, and yet Layne Millington and others have launched a social justice indoctrination program there in the name of liberating and freeing and being the avant-garde protectors of children. And it's really quite the opposite as we see now. And both parents' and students' rights have been violated, and if anyone stands up, then Layne Millington retaliates against them both in a disciplinary way and in academic opportunities, and more people are coming forward so that we can document this. Now Layne Millington has sent out a message to the entire community, also posted on Front Porch Forum, in which basically he calls upon people to stand up, he calls it, against hate. Well, and go on Front Porch Forum and go on Facebook and other social media and stand up to the parents. This is bullying. And this is the thug-like social justice idea of not letting anyone have an opinion that you disagree with. Children in this school have not been allowed to wear a t-shirt that says there are only two genders. Children in this school are singled out and threatened with reprimand or disciplinary action if they say that they believe there are only two genders. So aside from the fact that science is being ignored, so too are the First Amendment rights and the basic human rights of these children and their parents. And so finally, parents are standing up against this, and we're all meeting and getting together, and we're going to have one strong voice, and we will not be intimidated by Layne Millington's effort to bully parents and threaten to bring lawsuits against them and tell them what they can post on social media. Layne Millington, the superintendent, now controls what the community can post on social media. He wants to control everything, and for a long time he has in this school system. And the facts will be coming out, and the parents will be getting together and finding legal counsel. Layne Millington, you need to find another job. You've spent your life as a bureaucrat. I believe you're paid $139,000 a year plus benefits to cause division in the community. And then when parents complain that they believe that they're very concerned about their children, you call them hateful, you try to single them out, and you pretend that you're somehow the enlightened one who's going to protect the evolving transgender community. I'm attacked horribly and told I'm against transgender people, but the biggest thing I've done is oppose gender hormone therapies for prepubescent children, which are being performed and administered at UVM using disclosure forms that children can sign without their parents' consent, and that list a host of potential side effects of these medications. There's a form for boys who want to become girls and a form for girls who want to become boys. And it lists things like liver failure or cancer, heart disease, and of course there's infertility that arises from these drugs. And now children who are not legally able to buy cigarettes or booze or pot or join the military or get a gun, heaven forbid they get a gun, are allowed at the age of 12 or 13 to change their gender behind their parents' backs. As my opponent, I believe, is supported, age 659. You can look it up. This is real. They want to allow gender hormone therapies without parental consent. This is predatory against children. And by standing up for transitioning young people, I'm standing up to protect them. And the FDA has recently issued a warning against these drugs because they can cause brain swelling and blindness and other things in young people. And so this isn't about being anti-transgender. It's about what's appropriate for children and who works for whom in the school system. Is the school system and the state school board, are they there for the parents, or there to indoctrinate the children against the wishes of the parents? That's what this is about. Because what's happening in Randolph Union High School is happening in all of Vermont schools. And they are conditioning children for an ideology which is based on a theory, queer theory, without the scientific evidence, while banning the free speech rights of others to even talk about the science. So I stand with Caitlyn Jenner as well, who has said that their penises do not belong in a girl's locker room. And a girl said that, and now she is being investigated for harassment against the trans person who is sitting there watching them and not even changing. That's voyeurism. There's no reason to be there. And so now none of the kids are allowed in the girls' locker room to change. This, to the extent it's a state policy, it's unconstitutional. But frankly, this school has gone too far. And the state's policy, if that's what it is, needs to change and put the protection of young women first. And that's what I and others are standing up to do. And I hope you will join us. I hope you will speak out. I hope you'll organize in your area, in your school, and find out what's going on. And if we don't stand up for these kids, we can see clearly that Layne Millington and these school officials are not going to do so. So thank you as always for listening, and I hope you will get educated and informed and find out and come together to have a voice for our young people. Thanks very much for listening.